What's up, Internet? My name is Majestic Searar, and I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to review Halo 5 while playing Halo 5, and then I'm going to put this on my YouTube channel as well, and post it on the internet in a couple of places where I do review posts. So, I hope you guys get something out of my review, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But if you don't, that's fine too. Just let me know what I can do better, or what you thought, and be honest with me. Be as critical as you need to. I want to get better at this, and I want to do better content for you guys. So, just let me know, and be harsh, but honest and constructive. Or don't be. It's the internet. I know people are kind of douchebags on the internet. But we're going to review Halo 5 while playing Halo 5, hopefully. But I've been having a little bit of trouble getting into matches lately. But we'll get to that later. Let's start with the single-player campaign. But let's start with a little bit of history. I'm probably not the most unbiased source when it comes to Halo. I've owned every Xbox since the original Xbox at launch. My parents asked me one year what I wanted, Xbox or PlayStation, and I said Xbox. And that was my first console, like my first real console that belonged to me. And I've owned every Xbox through the generations. Sorry, I forgot to start a private party. I don't want to be in game chat. My bad. Anyways, I've owned every Xbox through the generations of Xboxes, and I've owned every Halo at some point or another. I owned Halo 1 when it came out, Halo 2 when it came out, Halo 3 when it came out, and Reach when it came out. I didn't own Halo 4 actually at any point, but I played through it in the Master Chief Collection, which I owned when it came out, then sold and then bought back later. And obviously I own Halo 5 and I got that when it came out. And I am a huge Microsoft fanboy, and I am a huge Halo fanboy. But even though I might not be the most unbiased critic of Halo games, I do think that I am a realist. Halo 1 and 2 I really liked. Halo 3 I didn't like. I wasn't that excited for ODST I owned when it came out. ODST was one of those games I wasn't excited for, and I thought it was okay, but I wasn't that amazed by it. Reach amazed me. Reach was probably my favorite Halo game of all time. Halo Wars was a pretty good game, but I wasn't that excited for it. And it was just okay. I wouldn't call it a great Halo experience. And then Halo 4 came out, and I heard such bad things about Halo 4. I played it a couple times and I didn't really like it at all. So I never even purchased Halo 4. I went through the campaign before Halo 5 came out just because I was actually excited for Halo 5. And so I wanted to get back caught up on the story before playing Halo 5. But Halo 4 was a terrible game, honestly. Probably easily the worst Halo. And then Halo 5, which is the game I'm reviewing right now. So even though I am a Microsoft fanboy, a Sony hater, and a huge Halo fan, I am able to be open and honest about the games. I don't just blindly think that all Halos are the best. So keep that in mind and don't just think that I'm going to praise the shit out of Halo 5 because of my Microsoft fanboyism. I am going to praise Halo 5, but it's not because I am blindly loyal to Microsoft. The single-player campaign for Halo 5 is mediocre. I was really excited for the campaign when this game was announced at E3. It looked really cool. I liked the idea of two different perspectives going through the same story from different angles, seeing the same maps in different perspectives, and trying to figure out who was good and who was evil and all that stuff. It really interests me. It reminded me of Halo 2, which was one of the best Halos, because in Halo 2, you go from multiple perspectives through the story. You get the Arbiter's perspective and the Master Chief's perspective, and that was a really interesting way of doing the story, in my opinion. So when they announced this game, I was super excited for it. I'm not gonna lie. But the story was mediocre. A lot of the scenes that could have been the best parts of the story were taken out of the hands of the player. One of the first missions, spoiler alert, you have to go kill Jul Andama, who is the leader of the rebel faction of Covenant, the bad Covenant. Because there's good Covenant led by the Arbiter, who are allies with the Spartans, and then there's the bad Covenant led by Jul Andama. And one of the first boss fights is against Jul Andama, but you don't even get to fight him. It's just a cutscene, and that kind of took away from the experience, in my opinion, because you're just watching the game play the game for you. I guess 343 thought that the player would ruin the experience? I don't know. It was kind of disappointing in that regard. Because I was really excited for the story. So that was hugely disappointing for me. The voice acting was stellar. Visually, it's gorgeous, but it was lacking in that regard because you just don't get to do much of the story yourself. It's a lot of cutscenes and set-piece moments, and you never really feel like you're changing anything. By the end of the story, you've literally done nothing. Like, you could have gone through the entire story, or you could have literally taken Master Chief and Locke and their teams out of the story, and nothing would have changed. You don't accomplish anything in the story. They're setting up for Halo 6, but it's kind of disappointing that literally nothing happens. So the story and the single-player experience, if that's what you're buying this game for, probably don't. Wait till it's cheaper and buy it later. But if you're buying this game for the multiplayer, yeah, do that. The multiplayer it's the best multiplayer in a Halo ever. And honestly, the multiplayer makes this the best Halo ever. You can basically pick up any gun at any time in the multiplayer and feel like you stand a chance against anybody on the map. The guns are perfectly balanced. The power weapons make you feel like you have power, but their shots and their ammo are limited, so you're not overpowered. The starting weapons and the weapons you find on the map regularly are balanced. I find myself doing most of my damage with simple assault rifles and SMGs and the Magnum. which is crazy. Um, all the DLC is free, which is freaking awesome. You don't have to pay for any of the microtransactions unless you really want to. The maps are pretty linear, and pretty much what you'd expect from the maps. It's nothing like super original. But the multiplayer is just fun. I find myself regularly going back to it. And that's not something I'd normally do in a Halo. It's not something I've regularly done before in a Halo. Actually, quite honestly, I've never liked a Halo multiplayer before. I played like Halo 1 and 2 multiplayer with my friends on couches, like with them, but I'd never played online. But this game plays well, and I'm by no means an amazing gamer, but I do good. I regularly finish near the top, or at the top, with no problem. And I've even won quite a few rounds. It's easily accessible and it's super fun. The game modes, there's like a game mode for everyone. I personally enjoy Free For All, but they're all good. But I think the main thing is just how balanced it is and how fast it is. The game it's quick. So it's not like a tactical shooter like Call of Duty kind of is, I guess, or like Battlefield or Counter-Strike or anything like that. It's definitely your typical run and gun shooter. But it's a ton of fun. I've never played a multiplayer Halo that I enjoyed so much. And so, if you were asking me to rate the game on a scale of 1 to 10, we'll say, the game overall is... Oh, well, before I get into the ratings, I want to show you this. So this is... The DLC is all free. And instead of DLC, they have these rec packs, which cost money, if you want to pay money. But just from playing the game, you get rec points. Like, I have 100 rec points, which is enough to get the gold rec pack, which brings you the best gear. And it's all cosmetic. Like, you don't get to start with these weapons. These are for a Warzone mode, which you have to get points to use. And then, like, you can get cosmetic things from them. Like, that's an emblem and stuff. It's nothing that will make you a better player. You don't pay money to win. And you don't even have to pay money at all to get these rec packs. I haven't paid for any of them. And I have a pretty good collection of, like, the different armors and stuff, as you can see here. And visors. And all that stuff. And I haven't paid for any of them. So, then you... Because they went to the microtransaction formula, which you don't even have to pay for to use, all the DLC is free. But if I was to give a rating, I guess we'll do the typical, like, the replayability of the story, not very good. I went through it once, and I haven't replayed it at all. I just don't think the story is very good. So the single-player experience, I'd probably give, like, a 6 out of 10. It was just not very entertaining to me, but the multiplayer more than makes up for it. On multiplayer, this game is a 10 out of 10, and overall I'd say this game's probably an 8.5 out of 10. It's definitely worth it if you like Halo, and it's definitely worth it if you're looking for a multiplayer shooter to pick up and play by yourself or even with friends. I know I play mostly the free-for-all mode by myself, and then Breakout is like 4v4 no shields, one life type thing. It's like more like Counter Strike type of thing. I play that if I have a group of 4 friends on, and if I'm just with 1 or 2 other people, I usually go to the Warzone mode, which is this thing, which is like a 12 on 12 with AI and stuff on the map. It's like Titanfall if you've seen that game, and it's really exciting. Uh, but it's funner to play with friends. So when I'm by myself, I just play the uh, free for all, which you just saw me play and win. So the game is super fun, and it's definitely worth it. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Graphically, this game is like a 9 out of 10. It's just absolutely beautiful. The sound in the game is also probably a 9 or 10 out of 10. The sound is typical Halo. The guns all sound great. The voice acting in the single player campaign is beyond exceptional. It's actually really good, and probably the best part of the single player campaign. You learn like the stories of the backstories of the characters just through like random dialogue they have during missions. It's really cool. Uh, and The music is typical Halo. It's got the full orchestra and stuff, and it escalates at the right times when you're in combat, and it just definitely adds to the game experience. So I'd give this game a 8.5 out of 10 overall. I think it's definitely worth it. And if you have an Xbox and you haven't checked it out yet, you definitely should. It is worth your time. I haven't really been excited for a Halo since like Halo 2. Reach was a pleasant surprise, but all the other Halos have just been meh or mediocre or just plain terrible in the case of Halo 4. But this Halo is great. Definitely check it out. And thanks for watching. And I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope it kind of shed some light into the Halo experience and what's good about it and what's not so good about it. Peace out.